This is a direct message to those who call themselves educated, thinkers, leaders, and anyone who's ever taken a paycheck and believed they understood the system. If you can read between the lines, you already know this message is not just words. It's a signal, part of something bigger. This is a real challenge, a test of intelligence, integrity, and depth. Because while the surface world, the so-called 3D world, has its place without characters and morals, it all collapses. The world is on a stage right now, a kind of World Series of consciousness. And the irony is that most don't even know they're in the game. So here's the real question. Can you evolve past labels, past ego, and past systems, and still live with principles when no one's watching? How you interpret this message says everything about you, not me. I'm just a messenger. And as for who I work for, well, I guess that's for you to figure out. I feel better when I talk, but I haven't been able to talk to anybody truly openly about what I really experienced 100%. I've opened up obviously to Steve, and thank God he believes me, and he's obviously sees things and the same, and we can confirm that. So that helped me, because I was thinking I'm fucking a job, because when you're not around anyone that has the same type of beliefs, and you've never been able to have any conversations with anyone about this, so I'm going to ask you, are you for real or are you full of shit? So what does that mean? Well, and why am I doing it this way? I show you myself in different ways now because I want to, because the perception, I can put something on the screen here, and if I present myself to you that way, so full makeup, hair done, nails done, in a suit, you are going to perceive me and this message in a different way. If I'm in my pajamas, no makeup, tired, but in thought, it's I'm good, I'm tired, but I'm okay being tired because I'm relaxed. So when my body feels this way, it just feels like it's at ease. I go, you know what, maybe it's time that I'm just in that moment, and maybe I'm just going to relax and take a break. That's what the importance of a break is. What is burnout? Well, continuously working and working and working, and then never giving yourself a break. I did that, and that's honestly a big part of why I got to where I got to, and that's okay. And there's no embarrassment or shame in that at all. It's an important message, because we all need to take a break. We all need to be more forgiving of ourselves. We all need to understand we're worthwhile. We all need to give ourselves a hug. As a mom, the amount of guilt I've always felt over the fact that, I can't be there all the time is tough, because at the same time, I also want that balance to be able to live up to my potential, because if I live up to my potential, she gets to live up to hers. I'm not living her life and she's not living mine. My daughter is her own person, and she wants to do her own things and find her own creativity. She inspires to be like me. I can see that now. I didn't see that before, and I was holding her back a lot. My limiting beliefs on myself, me not living up to my potential and being myself, held her back, and that's freaky. Now that I realize that is something I learned in the last 30 days. That's honest to God, the truth. And I'm damn proud of that. I'm mega proud of myself in the last 30 days over what happened. Publicly, people are going to see whatever they see, because that's what I'm saying. I can present any option to you. If I film the video this way, go upstairs, put on makeup, film it a different way, and post it on a different account, different people promote it, what's an ad? What is social media? And then people go, is this a game, or is this a marketing thing or a pyramid scheme? Everything is. Do you have a job? Maybe. Do you work for somebody? Who owns a company? Can you make more money than your boss? And if not, you're in a pyramid. Okay. So what's that any different than the government? Who controls the government? Well, you have to keep going up levels. This isn't like trying to be like funny. This is like serious. Like, people say things, obviously, if I'm a part of an MLM company, that I like the products and I promote it, is that bad? I genuinely like the products, so I use the products. I'm educated now more than ever on those products. They benefit my body. It's anti-aging for me. Bonus. It ships to my house. I make, honestly, good money from it. And in the process, I help other people get out of bad situations. Is that bad? Is that a pyramid scheme? If it is, I'm okay with it. What is a true pyramid scheme? Well, honestly, a pyramid scheme is when it gives money to something and you get nothing in return. So if I join an MLM company and I buy products and I get an exchange of products, that's fair. There's nothing wrong with that. In the one I'm in particular, you get the products, they give you the discount, so they're doing you the favor. They ship you more products, and you never have to order again, and you can still make money with them. Again, I feel like they're the ones losing out. They're giving more. So why are they already $1 billion company? Because they give more. How much do you give? When I'm not well, I find, and anyone isn't well, like humans, if we're out of balance, it's because we're being extremely selfish. We're driven by our egos, and our egos alone are dangerous because that's where we become jealous and envious and wanting to hate other people, and that doesn't help the world. When you understand everything's connected, so these people I always feared that whole side of things where, I talk about a spiritual side of the universe or belief. I didn't like to publicly talk about that because that seemed weird to me. To be honest, I didn't like having an opinion on it because I didn't want to be judged by other people, because I didn't want, I wanted to stay neutral. But the problem is you can't stay neutral on any topic, because if you stay neutral on a topic, you're not being truthful to anything, because you're wishy-washy. You're all over the place, and wishy-washy is dangerous, because those are the people that won't stand up for their friends or do the right thing in situations because they don't know what they stand for. They stand for nothing. That's scary. I don't want to stand for nothing. I'm too important, and the people around me are too important, and it's why I surround myself with important people, and it's why I'm protected by important people. And that's not like crazy. You can never meet the people and they could do things for you. How do you think like the phone works? How do you think you communicate to people? How do you know who you're actually talking to? If I gave my cell phone to somebody else and I said, you're in charge of my messages, be me for a while, who are you talking to? How do phone companies work? Who's really in charge? People are really mad at billionaires. They go, well, they don't, do for the world. They do. They do more for the world. They said, well, they just do it for charitable write-offs. Well, don't you think they deserve a charitable write-off if they just donated $100 million to the coronavirus research or something, or beds, or building a hospital? Is that them doing it for money? I highly doubt it. I highly doubt it, because they actually care. Because when you actually care, that's when things change. That's why when I it's one thing. Are you full of shit or are you for real? Like, if you're full of shit, you're thinking about it, but you're not doing. So what the hell? Like, fuck off. And that's what I was really getting down to when I posted my original videos of making myself look like I was crazy in a way, because the message is that important that I hope I have your attention now. And I'm not doing it for attention in a way that is saying, hey, look at me. I'm doing it because like it's important, because the world's important, and I'm not staying silent anymore. I've had too many things happen to me, to be honest, in my life. I've done too many things I've helped so many people, and I've done it from a good place because that's who I am and that's what I believe. And all I'm doing is looking for the right people who want to still do that and trust me. And the ones who know me, and I prove myself every single time. And I married my husband, who is the best thing that ever happened to me. And to be honest, if I didn't have him in the last 30 days, I would have, yeah, that would have been tough. He's equally going through this with me in this journey. And it's been fun, and it's been crazy, and it's been hard, and it's all of those things. And what is all of those things? Instead of being confused or frustrated with it, just it's understanding that it's life. And life is a beautiful thing. And 10 years ago, I was in a place where I didn't want to live. And that's the honest to God truth. I didn't want to live. So what's mental health now? If I've been okay and on a journey for the last 10 years that I've well been aware of, that 10 years ago something happened to me that I was notified and I was ready to work. So I'm telling you this honestly. I'm telling you this authentically, because I know a lot of you are confused. Like I am messing with you a little bit, but in a way that is only to help you to honest to God, really get you to think. So 10 years ago, I did start doing something. I did. I knew I was doing it. And it's been real, and every challenge I've been in or every interaction we've had has been authentic. I can tell you that. I wasn't like, it's not like I was messing with you with that. However, there was a lesson in all of it. And that's the most important thing, whether it being in a friendship or a situation or, whatever, because that's what life is. That's what I'm trying to explain to you, is that we all do it to each other. It's not that I am any way special. I just am being open to receiving messages now. I wasn't before, from people that are worthwhile. And that's what, the law of attraction that all these people keep talking about. You see different speakers. Dan Locke has a really good one about the law of attraction, and he says basically, how are you to treat fish in a tank? If you had fish in a tank and they were dying, what would you do? Would you treat the fish? No, you would treat the tank. It's your environment. It's who you associate with. So I isolated myself purposely. Like, I'm going to be honest. I needed it because we all need our time alone. And that time I feared being alone, but then I craved it. So the last 6 months, I challenged myself to do something that was different for me. And I knew I was doing it. I made the choice to make that challenge. And I didn't know how deep in it I was at the time. However, I aligned with really great people, and that's with the Health Sciences Academy. I genuinely, I met Alex and Maurice, and I was really impressed by them as people. And so was my husband. And I needed to learn, a lot about them as a company and them as people. When I found out how great they were, I said, okay, I support this, because, the message of helping the world and building ambassadors who actually want to, feed children in other countries. So when we're building our ambassador program and we're building these certifications and this is what we're doing, it's because, we're spreading the word of health and nutrition, which is deeper than just what you eat. That is the biggest problem with so many things, is the fact that weight loss, I spent 20 plus years obsessing over my weight. Like, oh, I'm too fat, I'm too skinny, I'm, not as in shape. Like, the fitness industry killed me. It destroyed a big part of me but was it the industry's fault? No, it was my own insecurities from it. It was like a mirror reflection of everything I hated about myself. And when you're sexually abused, that's a big thing. That's an important message I'm also trying to get across to the women out there watching who have been abused, to the men who have been abused. You're worthy. And I'll speak for you if you're not ready to speak, because I'm ready, because I'm okay. That's the difference. That's why I'm able to put out these videos that everybody keeps, it was bothering me, looking at me like I'm crazy. And then I went, you know what? I'll be crazy then for those people who need a voice, because they need somebody to get them through. And I had those people to get me through, And whether they know it yet or not, that's the incredible thing. They might not even know they were my inspiration. Just like I might not know yet I'm yours if I am, but people tell me I am. And at first I remember when I would get messages of people telling me how much I'm inspiring them or my story or whatever. It was weird to me. It was very foreign to me. I felt almost like an out of body experience, because to be honest, the first majority of my life I was out of body experience. The abuse was so bad for me that you become like, you almost like you see your own body. Like when you're a little child and you're being sexually abused and you sleep on the streets when your mom's in the hospital or in an alleyway instead of going home, you do that because you do that because that's how you survive. That's what survival is. So your brain takes on a different thing. Like, so I get what age did that start, and that I changed, I guess, then, because when I went to school, and and thank you for the people that I went to grade school with who reached out, but I'm okay. Then that's the thing. I've done nothing but care for you. I just didn't care for myself in the process as well. Is it because I showed up at school to be everybody's friend, having, trauma the night before in a way that children should never experience? It's tough. I didn't heal from my abuse until the last 30 days. I thought I did. I spoke about it, that I had been abused, but I still was that third person. I wasn't connected to the speech. I wasn't connected to the voice or to the words, and I am now. And that's what this challenge did for me. It brought me to the level I needed to be at, because the problem was I still wasn't doing. I was still full of shit. And, Russell, in these challenges, in these talks, we talk about 3 types of people. So whether it be business or anything, that's what I said. I'm very good at business and marketing. I could twist anything into a brand, a story, a quiz, a challenge. That is part of what I enjoy. That's how I have fun. So I liked working, and I remember not being able to work a job and feeling like I was a loser because I couldn't, work in a time allotted thing or on a schedule. Oh, I hate time schedules because I can't be creative. Entrepreneurs want to be creative. We want to be inspired. You have to, I have to be alone with my thoughts, but I didn't know how to do that because I was afraid of isolation. Medication. Is it necessary? Sometimes, yeah. I'm not against medication. Let me be clear on that. But I'm also not for it just to take it. So I started, if I forgot my meds, I was starting to open up, and my body had reactions. Of course it did. That's what happens when medication leaves the body, and you detox and you cleanse. What are you cleansing when you go on a diet? It's emotions, it's things, it stays in the body, it's toxins. You need to release them, and you do it in different ways. Some people do colonics, and that's relaxation. You do it through meditation, you do it through workouts, you do it through sweat. You need to do all of it. It's important. And when you're not balanced, and that's what I said, there's 12 categories in Elegantly Outrageous, and all of them have to be balanced, and Russell's goes back to those 3. Everything does relate back to the 3. Even my 12 categories relate back to the 3. And that is wealth. So money is necessary, and I used to think people that had money were bad people. Well, that's not true. And when you think that, then the problem is you think things are bad. You think people are bad, and that's an insecurity of yours because of what you think you would do with the money, of who you think you would be. And it makes you feel better to tell yourself those things or see those things in people, so it keeps you at the level you want to be. And that's why you surround yourself with the 5 people you feel you deserve to be around. Doesn't matter who or how they're related to you. It doesn't matter. It's the relationships you attract. If you're constantly attracting men that are shit, that are mistreating you, who are abusing you, that's your fault. It is. Like, I'm sorry, princess, but wake the fuck up. I'm, it was my fault. But in a way that I forgive myself for. That's the other thing. There's that balance of love. And when you have an opinion, you can't be, what I said, you wishy-washy, this neutral thing in the middle. You have to be on one side or the other. And when you're on the other, because when you stand for something, you know what's right when you're being your authentic self. So you're either going to attract people. So this video, I'm attracting you into my orbit, or I'm repelling you. But I have to be okay with that, and I am, because it's my life. And when I look back at it now, everything makes sense to me. So I really mean everything I say. I post everything because I believe it. I'm not just posting quotes. So are you just reading quotes, or are you living it? When I tell people I don't gossip, I meant it. Did I cut you off? Probably. Maybe. Did I do it because I hate you? Absolutely not. I care for everyone, to be quite honest. Until you hurt me and you disrespect me, I'm out. And that's the rules I play by, and those are the only people I work with, because those people also play by the same rules. And that's who my best friends are. And that's who I like to promote. And that's why I align myself with the right people, and I cut off the other ones that right now aren't ready. And it doesn't mean I don't hold grudges. I actually don't believe in that. If you know me at all, you know that's not who I am. I can forgive, and I can forgive and never see a person again too, because you know why? I'm not going to put myself through that type of torture or pain and hurt or jealousy if somebody's, appears to be doing better. And it's why I come on this video this way. Not the girl who's dressed up, not the girl who's who once showed the world this insecure person. I love dressing up now. I'm back to that. I missed it. I love putting nice clothes on my body. I love nice things. However, those things are just part of fun. That's part of life. If you need those things to have fun, if you can't be at nothing and still love your life, which I got to nothing. It was bad in the last 30 days. You have no idea. One day you will, because I'm doing shit about that, because that's the fun part for me. And I'll spend the whole rest of my life doing it, because it's all I want to do. And I made the decision to do that. And if you want to do the same, I have more than enough opportunities for you to get involved and change your life too. So that's what I do. I'm making that. That's what my team's doing. That's who I want to work with. That's who I'm offering my services to. And that's a continued thing. I've been, like, I believe in, me and my husband. It's period. I believe in my family, and that's my core. So those things are a package, and they come with me where I go, because that's what I want. So when I travel, I bring them with me. When I, when we do things, we always plan it around that type of stuff. And that's important. Do I believe in the Health Sciences Academy? Yes. We've been working together, like I said, to really not only improve the brand. That's one side of my job. That's just what I like to do. And then in the process is literally build other people to be the better versions of themselves, because then they help the world. And then how can we help the world through that message? Because nutrition isn't just your body, it's mental health as well. And how you eat, or foods you put in your body, determine how you think about yourself. So diets get down to, if you're focused on a diet because of what you look like, you're going to struggle. And I struggled with that for 20 years. And that's what an eating disorder is, in any shape or form. I remember going to Miami with a top fitness model. She was in all the magazines and everything. And I got there, and she goes to me, oh, well, I do cocaine. And I was like, well, I don't. So if you're going to do that shit, I'm out. I'm sorry. It's just not for me. I have no judgments on people who've gone down that road. But I'm telling you, that it's not a healthy one. So fix it, and love yourself through it. Understand, though, you're hiding, like you're afraid of something in your life, right? Like that's what addiction is. And that's and that's a part of mental health. So, for me and my self-worth and my journey, it comes down to those things too with mental health. but I'd say I'm far more enlightened than somebody who's never experienced what I've experienced. So call that what you want, call it whatever diagnosis you need to. It doesn't really matter. Why are people with, you know, bipolar or different diseases or different, you know, I don't know, whatever, things like at a higher level. So if Catherine Zeta-Jones is bipolar, or, you know, Matt Good, it's Matt Good, yeah, or like, you know, these very creative people, especially in Hollywood, are more bipolar and stuff, is because, well, maybe they're just like more creative, and or they're allowing themselves to tap into that. And when you tap into that, trust me, you see like it's a different, you see things differently. Well, you have to see things differently because they have to see things differently. That's why they are where they are, and you are where you are, wherever that is. So if somebody's bored into money, it's easier for them to think those things. But if they acquire money the wrong way, they're going to feel that need for money. So if, you know, a child's born into it, but they don't feel like superior enough to make it, or they just think it's given to them without earning it, it doesn't have the same value. So what is respect for money? Respect for money is what you're going to do with it. Money only makes you a better version of you or makes you a worse version of you. It's why people win the lottery and then they lose it fast, and other people do something with it. You can give. That's a philanthropist and still have enough for you and enjoy and help the world. And that's the type of person I am. It's what I believe in. It's who my husband is, and it's who I surround myself with. So I'd say in my innermost circle is those people, and who I invite into it are those people. So if I've ever mentioned you, tagged you in those things, in those ways, like, it's because there's a reason for that. I don't have any hate in my heart, because that's something that I feel is a waste. But I have it's like a respect thing for myself, for my family, and for different things. And that's why I like to, you know, speak in person, because I like to, that's my joy. If I'm a super geek, that's the truth. I always considered myself more of a misfit. I never felt like I really belonged when I was a model. Like, I felt like weird about that. I like dressing up, showing up, but it's more for me like role play. It's like a game. Like, that's only one part of me. That's not who I am. Like, my idols definitely, like, you know, like Harry Potter is my world, like, in my head. Like, that's why I see the world in these cartoons. Because that's fun for me. It makes things way easier. Why, and is that like crazy or bad? Like, no, that's what they do in Hollywood. That's how you make movies. That's how you're creative. That's how you're a director. You have to think outside the box. What is unboxing? Like, that is what it is. Like, thinking outside the box. So how did I get through the last 30 days? I just pretended I was one of those people. Like, they always, like, so that's all it is. You go, okay, what would this person do in this situation? Boom, boom, boom. And then that's what a role play is. That's what Halloween is. We do it as kids. And that's cool. It's fun. So when I say you're invited into the challenge, you are in a challenge. But it's fun. And there are clues, and there's ways to make it easier on yourself. And that's what help is. Finding the right 5. Finding the best version of yourself. You know, being more than ego. Being more than even world-centric and spirit-centric. Like, become spirit-centric, where you can see where things are connected and the world's connected. And it just puts you at peace. And then you feel like, you know, everything makes sense and your life is worthy, no matter where you're at. And I mean, you can be at your lowest point and still feel that way. And then that's when you know you've made it. It has nothing to do with goals. You're always, humans, we need to grow or we die. So you're never going to be at a point where you go in, like, hit your goals and you'll be like satisfied and then you just give up. It doesn't work that way. That's what, like, people are confused with what retirement is. And that's what I thought I had to do. I thought I had to work hard to get to where I needed to be financially, so that I had told myself a very specific date, and then from then I could live after that date, right? Then I had all the money in the world and I could do whatever I wanted. What a stupid idiot. Like, that doesn't even make sense, because you can't, like, you need to enjoy everything and every part of you, and you can change your circumstance at every time, because you're always going to need to grow and improve. So you'll just get better at it. You're either moving towards your goals or you're moving away from them. So if your life gets worse, that's because that's how you see yourself. I always hear people, oh, I'm aging. I feel like I'm so young. I don't even like to say my age because I feel like it's too young. Aging is beautiful and it's a gift, and not everybody gets it. So don't take it for granted. Like, that's shitty. You know, every wrinkle means something. It's important. Don't be afraid of it. If you want to, like, do stuff, yeah, clean yourself up, look good, whatever, but don't overdo that shit, because it's just hurting you. It's not something to be ashamed of, and if somebody doesn't love you for it, fuck them. You don't need that shit. Cares. That's what an elegantly outrageous woman is, or I want the world to know is, because I want them to identify it with something. I always had said elegantly outrageous wasn't me. It's yeah, I am one of all the women, and maybe the men, because that's not what this is either. It's not like, oh, we don't like those men, like, man haters. Well, that's stupid. Because there's a lot of great men that we need and want to be a part of the cause and want to change the world too. So what if you just were like finding a bunch of teams that wanted to do the same thing, and everybody just helped each other in the process? That's fun. And and that is business, really. Like, if you have a product and I have these memberships, and you get involved, and then I give you something because it's a value. That's what marketing is. Is that a game? Only in a good way, if you're having fun and you're not hurting anyone, because then you get to play with people at that level. It's like you're going, okay, you have a business, I'm going to support you, and I have a business, I'm going to support you. We're going to help each other. And that's what you do, instead of like take, right? So it's like, okay, how can I serve you at the highest level? That's the biggest thing. It's, well, creativity in the mind is number one, right? So if we work together versus not, or then you can't. You want to work together as a team, then you serve the people at the highest level, because it's like, where's your skill set? Great, you're going to bring in this and this. So when you're working in your unique abilities, that's one thing Maurice, we talked about in our meetings, and that's an important thing, is because you do want to work in your abilities, because then it doesn't feel like work. And that's what creative people are, or artists. And then do they fall into depressions? Sometimes, yeah, because if you can't balance that means master yourself. If you can't handle success, like you don't see yourself that way, you're gonna fall apart. You're gonna have substance abuse problems. You're going to, do something bad, because you don't value yourself. And that's when mental health comes up in, and that's what it is. And some people's self-worth, when they detach themselves from their bodies, because so many bad things have happened to them, the body does incredible things. What's cancer if you're not alkaline, if you're not balanced? It's common sense, but we don't, it's funny, like, if I say stuff, people go, holy shit, like, that doesn't, oh my God. But I kept quiet for so long because my self-worth was too low. And then I just decided, fuck it, I don't care anymore. I'm just going to say it as it is, and that's what my business is. And I know that I only have good intentions, so I don't lose people, they lose me. And that's the reality of it, because I actually don't want to hurt anyone. I want to help everyone. I can only do it, though, from a place that serves me best and them, and I have to protect them. The first thing is me and my family in that unit, because that's important. And then you have your teams and you build, and that's what everyone needs to do. So it's equal. It's not like I'm better than you or you're better than someone else. You can't put people above you or below you, because we're all born into different circumstances with different blessings, and it doesn't matter what country you're born into, it doesn't matter what skin color you have, it doesn't matter, you know, what your background is. We're all united, and it is the earth, and it is the planet that we need saving, because all of us are one unit, and that's what they call spirit eccentric, spirit centric is. We're all connected, and it's a beautiful thing. It's not weird. And that's why they say, you know, some people make it all fucking weird. Like, that's where they get out, and I'm like, okay, you're just talking shit. You don't know what you're talking about. And that's why I said, are you talking shit or are you talking serious? The people that get it for real, do something about it. So fucking do something about it. Get off your ass. You know, Tony Robbins goes, you know, all these people planning for a trainer, right? They want to lose weight. And they plan. And then they're searching the trainers, and they're sitting at home still on their fucking ass. No, you need like a fucking cheetah, like run after your ass to get you out of your chair and move. Not because of the fact that you're not beautiful and your body isn't deserving. It's because you deserve to move and feel your best. And we all have different shapes and sizes. And some people's bodies will balance out at a bigger size. And that's cool. And you're beautiful when you're in line with you. That's the point. And people will love you for you. That's why everybody's attracted to different things and different styles. And that's why there is a match for people when you find yourself. And whatever that is, if it's in, doesn't matter what your sexuality is, doesn't matter if you were born or not born in the right body or whatever, none of it matters, because there's no judgment on it. You're allowed to be whoever the fuck you want to be. So change it if you want to change it. If you want to change your name, that's fine, but make sure if you do it, it makes sense. But don't hide from your past. If you were born one way, embrace it, love it. Don't shame it. Don't shame anything you've been through. I'm not shaming a single fucking thing I've been through in my life, to be honest. I'm not shaming who I am. I have no regrets. I'm proud of my past that I was once ashamed of, because it shaped me into the person that I am. I'm pretty fucking awesome. And I'm allowed to say that now, and because all I want to do is help other people feel the same. And how do I do that in the best possible way? By being creative in every possible way. And that's all I wanted to do for you, is help. So I do recommend, like I said, sign up for this one funnel away challenge, because this is it. Yeah, it's gonna give you something. It's gonna give you something that you're looking for in the way you need it to. And it's not a gimmick. I'm gonna tell you that for real. You know, Health Sciences Academy, we are working on incredible things. My husband and I do have some ridiculously amazing things coming out as well. And Elegantly Outrageous is a self-help program. So welcome, because I want to help you. And that's all I've been trying to do. And I'm even I've given all of me up to do that. To prove to you, embarrass myself for people that think that these things are embarrassing, speak things that are truthful because they need to be said. And I love being alive. So there's been no concern about anything. And I'm ready to live. Are you with me? So where are we at right now? Well, you sucked me into this fucking game because you know I can see puzzles, but I don't see puzzles like a puzzle, so that's why I have to have a role in this, and I can't move on from anything until, like I've said, I don't have it in me. Even if I've been hurt and screwed over, I do forgive. I just do. And it's why I worry about other people before myself, and it's why you need to just get Steve settled, because I need some freedom. Because I can't think. But I know it has to all match up, but I'm really stressed. So I know you know I need that. And I know you know I won't be the one who can do it, Scott. Even though never in our relationship have I ever disrespected him as a husband, a partner, or anything. I haven't. There was two men in my life that after my marriage, my first marriage, I said I'm never gonna be that type of a wife or any of that, because I wanted to be married, to be in love, and to be faithful and everything. And when I was in a marriage that didn't make sense to me, because our dynamic wasn't a father-daughter, and I was controlled and in a different way, I just didn't know. You just don't know. And when you only know abuse, you don't know any other way, and you instantly become a slave. And I've been a slave my entire life to being a people pleaser, because I don't like hurting people, and most people don't. That's why it's like, going and punching somebody in the face and fighting and doing all those things is not natural. So when other people go, oh my God, there must be something wrong with you for wanting to fight, well, you haven't lived their life. It's why I know whenever I must have been about 12, I was going to kill my stepfather, because there was only so much abuse I could take. So I know I have it in me to kill somebody, and that's why I can forgive somebody so much if they did it, because you don't know what it's like, and you don't get to make that call or that decision. And our system is so nobody's helping anyone and trying to fix anyone. Everybody's just trying to keep the power in the wrong place, except for a small select group of people who have been so fucked over themselves that they had to create so much wealth and power and lose it and have it shift around and mixed up and everything else to find out where the hell everyone was, because there's only one game and one puzzle. And if anyone's ever thought that the God and the devil have never haven't been working together even for 1 second, then you haven't figured out the game, is that we're all just pawns. I'm a pawn, you're a pawn, we're all pawns into a bigger thing. And if you don't know your place and know your role in that game, you will lose. So the only way to play this game was to destroy every single player in it and knock every single one of them down to nothing. And I was included in that, and that's why I never see myself as anything above anyone else. I just can't. And that's why I'm still stuck right now, and that's the depression until somebody does something and every layer has to come off. And said people don't recognize what they do to hurt other people, and thankfully it turned around with all your help, that I've had Steve be as supportive as he is, and I turn and I appreciate all of it. I discovered who I was and knew, and I've been very lonely for a very, very, very long time. And I'm very lonely. And all I have is my faith and my belief that, what I did something. I did what I was supposed to do, because it's all I ever do is what I'm supposed to do. And that's why I need more help. Because if you don't believe that the earth is suffering, and you don't believe that there's more to life than what this is, and you don't believe that humanity is only a very small part in it, you don't get it. You don't get it. Because it can be taken away so easily, and we are literally right there. There's no room left. If it's not fixed now, there is no hope for any of us for a future. This is literally humanity's last chance. And if we don't get over our own egos and our own bullshit, and people stop fighting with each other over stupid things, you will destroy this planet. Congratulations. Good fucking job. Great that you have all your money and your awards and your egos and all of that bullshit. I hate everyone for it. That is the truth. Because they have missed the whole fucking point. And why I only see few and many. I could see crowds and masses, but so few names and faces, because I needed to see who was really doing something in this world and who was suffering just as badly as I was, just in a different way, because we're all working in different ways, and you have to appreciate and see people for what they are and what they do. And if you can't do that, you have not done enough. and you are not in this club, and you are kicked the fuck out, and I don't want anything to do with you. Because you live long enough, you become the villain, and I am too angry. Because where my imagination went is fuck the planet then. Go fuck itself. Because if you don't know what it's like to be taken from everything from you, where you just rather die, you don't get it. But the problem is I already tried to die and it didn't work. So my only option, because I know so much of what happens, is to fight. This is it. This is the fight. This is it. You get up and you fight. Except I'm still too weak, so everybody has to do it for me, because I got nothing left. Everything taken. And when I say everything, I don't mean me. If you haven't figured that out by now, then you don't know who I am. And I am not the type of person to say, do you know who I am? Because it's who we are. And if you haven't seen or understand those voices in your head, and understand if somebody's watching you, those voices, they've just been missing a face. And the people who have been hurt enough are gifted, and gifted enough to get to see who those faces are, because those faces are the faces from the past, those ghosts that haunt us, that are on this planet today, and I was sent to find them. And I have been keeping that secret, literally, for a very long time. It was told to me very clearly, and I have not been allowed to say it. But I finally could. And that doesn't mean that you're not invited to the table if your name wasn't mentioned, because that's not how it works. We build bigger tables. We just need to know what everybody has to do, because every role has to be earned. Because we don't give out fucking participation awards. That's a fucking joke. And the only way to fix the future of this planet is by educating the people on it to start treating it better. It's the only way. And let me tell you, we are split with the future generations. And the appreciative little brats, you haven't done your kids any fucking favors if you've just given them everything. No fucking favors at all. And you just taught them how to judge others and look at others, and make them feel like other people are beneath them. If you put anyone above you or below you, you miss the point. And you have encouraged a generation of shit. But thank God now I see youth and a generation and people standing up and being led by, incredible people, because the people in this club raise some really, really great kids. And that's what makes us a family. Because a true parent lets go of their child and doesn't try to control them. Because that's not parenting. You've just made your children slaves to you, exactly what you wanted to break away from, which makes you a hypocrite, which is what God hates the most. God does not have a single fucking ounce of respect for a hypocrite. And that is the only way you lose the game. If you're a hypocrite, you get all of it back to you. And karma, there is a reason they say it's a bitch, because the feminine energy, it can be a real fucking bitch. And karma is awake, and she is done with this shit. She is done with this shit. Because I am sick of feeling this type of pain and all this thing, like the physical pain's changed, thank God. We still have some symptoms and some things, but every time at least I'm able to talk, I get stronger. So please just help this. Because I can't, like, everybody doesn't understand how much I see or what it is and what it's like and how it affects. It's not like that. It's not like, it's like you see on Tony Robbins things with all the cameras and all the stuff, I see too much, and it's too much until more is fixed. And I don't like it. I didn't ask for this, and I don't want it. This is not something like, oh, this is great. Well, you're right, I'm fucking overwhelmed. I'm so fucking overwhelmed.